Hello, everybody. Welcome. I wanted to apologize for starting a few minutes late. We do respect your time, and I do apologize for that. We're just trying to round everybody up. But I am Lisa Bettendorf, and I am your 2022 president. I'm really excited to be back in person, and I feel like it's essential after these couple years that we do start doing events in person. So thank you for attending. But we are also virtual today for everyone who couldn't make it because of the snow or pandemic. So welcome to our virtual visitors. One thing that we have learned in the past few years is that our online presence is super important. And today we hope that you do walk away knowing a little bit more about how to make your social media shine. And before I introduce our first special guest, I just want to give a shout out to Bill Clark for providing a wonderful breakfast to all of us. Thank you, Bill. Let's be honest, Bill knows how to bribe real estate brokers, right? Food. So all of our proceeds today go directly to RPAC. And telling us a little bit more about RPAC is Ashley Fordham. Ashley is a principal broker and owner at Windermere Heritage in Salem. She's the Mid-Valley Association of Realtors president and the District 2 vice president for Oregon Realtors. If we could all welcome Ashley.
I need to adjust this. I'm quite a bit shorter. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ashley Fordham. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I can tell you that your association has the most incredible energy, and that's very obvious from the moment that I walk in. So thank you all for being so incredibly welcoming. I first and foremost want to congratulate you on your second year of winning the Triple Crown Award. That is absolutely impressive. So please give yourselves a round of applause. This is absolutely an incredible testament to your commitment to our industry, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about RPAC today and why I'm so incredibly passionate about contributions to RPAC, because now more than ever, our industry is under siege, and RPAC gives us a chance and an opportunity to have a seat at the table where really tough conversations are being held. So, as we all know, the last couple of years of our industry, change is absolutely inevitable, and there is arguably no other industry more prone to change than the American real estate market, and I think we can all attest to that over the last couple of years. 2022 is shaping up to be a very dynamic year for our industry as we consider all the topics being brought to the table. For one, I'm sure you're all very aware of the NAR and DOJ lawsuit that's being handled at the national level. If you're not, I would really encourage you to do some research and follow up on that information. There's a lot there. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Not only do we have a gubernatorial election for the first time in over a year, or 10 years, that's absolutely incredible to think about. RPAC really allows us to have the opportunity to sit there and discuss really tough conversations with people. The standard of business practices are consistently being challenged, and the narrative around commission structure is really just the beginning of that. It's a common law of physics that we can get no more power out of a thing than we put into it. And the most important thing that you can put into your business is a thorough knowledge of the business. Today, as never before, business demands capable, efficient, trained professionals, and no person, no matter how clever they may be, can hope to win success in any business in this progressive age unless that person knows every aspect of that business. RPAC is part of the industry you must understand. RPAC is how we support realtor champions running for elected office. RPAC gets us a seat at the table, again, where those tough conversations are being held and deep change is being considered. If we want to impact the momentum of that change affecting our business while stewarding homeownership, RPAC gives us that voice. 70% of the funds invested in RPAC remains within our state, which is absolutely incredible if you really stop to think about it. Because realtors view things through a lens of the consumer, we offer an objective that planners and city elected officials may not have considered. If our associations didn't have RPAC to get us in the room, our stories, our clients' stories, experiences, and expertise would not be considered when plans are being drafted. Think about that for a minute. Realtors impact and improve the lives of others through our knowledge and advocacy of homeownership. It's what we do. It's at the core of who we are. An investment in RPAC has been responsible for ensuring the inclusion of independent contractors in COVID relief packages, promotion of independent contractor status, protecting Oregon's mortgage interest deduction, increased funding for rural broadband, remote online notarization, funding for the wildfire recovery, and increased emphasis on fair housing and LARC requirements. It's absolutely fundamental to the way that we do our business. These wins are just a few examples of our RPAC dollars at work for you, for your clients, and the preservation of the industry that we hold in the highest respect. As we work to continue to promote homeownership, I want to challenge you today to seek knowledge. Being a realtor is so much more than the pledge, code of ethics, or a pin on your jacket. It's the sum of a group of passionate individuals who seek to be better, to do better, and to provide the best to those around them. If you've not made your commitment to invest in RPAC in 2022, now is the time. And it's absolutely imperative that we band together to participate in the foundation of our industry because your voice is so incredibly important. Our voice allows us the opportunity to represent our clients at the root and the foundation of homeownership. So if you've not made a commitment to invest in RPAC, whether that's $15 or a major investor of $1,000, now is the time to make that investment. Thank you.
I'm being super careful about not falling. Thanks, Bundy. Ashley, thank you so much for your time and wisdom today. We really appreciate you for making the drive from Salem, and we just really appreciate you. Today we are blessed, and I'm personally excited from Lawyer's Title. We are going to have for our MC today is Adam Bjornson, and we are lucky. Adam was also our MC for our installation luncheon, and I strongly believe that any event is better when Adam is present. So everybody, whoop! Adam!
You're too kind. Thank you. I'll let you come down first. Thank you. Because I need a hug. Yes. It's been a while. Good to see you. Okay. I heard this was a party, so this is Tito's vodka. And they got a nice little chair for me here, which is just terrific, and scripts and all of that. But thank you to Lisa and Ashley, and a big thanks to all of you guys in the audience, because let's be honest, right? The conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine, we've got rising interest rates, we've got this little thing called a pandemic that we've been dealing with, and of course we've got snow, and you guys made it through all of that, so give yourselves a round of applause. I am super excited to be here on this great Thursday, the 15th annual East Metro Association of Realtors, and this is just exciting. And we're, of course, here, as you just heard, to raise money for RPAC. I have got this little clicker in my pocket that will be moving slides, and I will make sure we have it. But we've got a collection of 5 panelists on hand today. I'm going to get comfy if you guys are okay, right? Because this is going to be the living room kind of setup here today. So I think we're all likely to learn a thing or two before this day's over. But before I go any further, I do want to recognize, and I know you guys see the drum set behind us. We're going to rock out. There's going to be a disco ball coming down soon. It's going to be that kind of party here today. But I do want to thank Judson Royce Staging for the fine furnishings that they have brought us here today. So thank you. Yeah, kind of like I feel like I'm at home a little bit. In fact, fighting off the urge to take my shoes off. You guys don't want that. Okay, throughout the event, you guys are all going to have opportunity to win prizes through raffles and trivia questions, and even by just having your programs stamped by each sponsor today. So, since we are doing social media, I do want to see if I can get, and these lights might not be very good, but I want to make sure I can get you guys in a selfie. So we're gonna try and get everyone squeezed in there. There they are. Nice, perfect. We'll be posting that and seeing just how much this thing can go viral. Okay, we also have an online raffle, you guys, that is open to everyone. And whether you are here or with us physically or just kind of following along, live on our stream. So point your browser to emar.virtualraffle.org. Again, that's emar.virtualraffle.org. The address is on the screens above me, I do believe. Or is that the clicker part that I need to switch in? No, that must be Lee Toft. He runs this, he does. And the money raised going to RPAC, but you're gonna have a chance to win some pretty sweet prizes. So let's get the party started, should we? Let's get the first trivia question out. So raise your hand. I'm gonna have to kind of probably stand up and see. Music to set the mood. I like it. Okay, if you guys were paying attention when Ashley was talking, you guys should know this. But I'm just gonna kind of pick someone at random. The first question is sponsored by Guild Mortgage. Okay, you guys are gonna get a nice gift card if you get this right. And of course, if I pick you. What does RPAC stand for? Is it A, Residential Politics and Community, B, Realtor Political Action Committee, C, Realtors Political Action Committee, or D, Residential Political Action Committee? Anyone know the answer to that? Raise your hand. Right there. Say it again. D or B? Ah, wrong. Next. C, right here. Brian, the Whistler, again, nailed it, yes. Funny how one letter can just be right there, mess you up. So Realtors Political Action Committee, that is correct. Good job. By the way, when you win these trivia questions, there is going to be, Mike Schultz is going to be back here. He's right there in the middle. These are really strong lights. I can only see silhouettes of you, Mike, so thank you for raising your hand. So that's what I'm gonna have to get up and do that. Okay, item number 5 on our list here. I'm gonna introduce the first of our 5 panelists, realtor and Instagram story expert from More Realty. Please give it up for Patricia Kirk. Welcome to my living room.
Thank you.
And you get this.
Awesome.
Just the green button advances it.
Perfect. I'm going to mess this up at least once, so just be ready for it. Perfect. Do I start it? So hi, my name is Patricia Kirk, as he introduced me, but it is not Patrick, okay? So if you call me and you say, hi, I'm looking for Patrick, I will say this is she. And I get called Patrick 2 times a week. No joke, I'll screenshot it. It's on my stories all the time. This is my husband and my 2 kids. They're cute. He's married, so careful. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Patricia PDX Homes. So why am I here? I don't know. I saw a couch and wanted to sit down on it. So they didn't kick me out yet. So I'm a broker with More Realty. I've been licensed since 2016. And I'm here as your Instagram story expert. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I use Instagram to sell more houses. And I have one closing next week from somebody that found me just on Instagram. How cool is that, guys? Free marketing, and I'm closing for them. I also am involved in the industry. I'm on the Portland Metropolitan Association Realtors Board of Directors. I've been with Oregon Realtors, key committee members. I was YPN chair for 2 years. And I serve locally with the Beaverton Chamber promo partner. I run 2 Instagram accounts for the Beaverton Downtown Association. So if you see Beaverton Eats or Beaverton Downtown, that's me. And I'm on my daughter's PTO board. So I like to be involved, and apparently I'm too busy. So let's start. What are Instagram stories? So Instagram stories are this vertical image or video that's only viewable for 24 hours. Yes, there is a way to make it permanent in your highlights. That's our advanced course. That's part 2. That's next year. So what you can do is you can add so many cool features. But where it lives is it lives at the top of your screen, either on your homepage or on your profile. That red circle is your story. That means somebody has one. If you see a green circle, that means you're on their close friends list. So if they're sending you goodies in there, you better ask them on a date because you made their VIP list, okay? And Instagram lets you do some super cool features, right? So you can add filters and text and music and ask polls and questions and multiple choice. Hand-drawn arrows. I like to do hearts a lot. You'll get annoyed. But there's just so many things. You can mention other accounts, and then they share your story, and now their entire audience can see you. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you how to post. I'm not gonna go through those right now, but I am gonna tell you why you should use it. So I hear a lot, why should I use Instagram? Either my clients are out there, right? But the number one reason to use Instagram stories is to build rapport, right? I was just in a convention in Florida, and the amount of times that I heard people want to work with people they like, know, and trust, I would be a billionaire, but it's true. So we want to show your personality and let them know you. You want to tell them a story, right? So let me tell you, I have a follower I have never spoken to in my life, okay? She got connected with me when she was buying a house with another realtor. Dang it, is this a bad story? Kind of, sure. But she, just last week, mentioned my name as a realtor of choice for somebody. She recommended me and has never met me before, but I was able to show her my personality, build trust, and now she's recommending me without even me having to make that connection, right? So these stories are usually only viewed by your current followers, and they're just a less structured way of your permanent posts. So you don't have to do branding. You can show a cup of coffee from your board of directors meeting that does not need to be on your regular post, you guys. So if you're posting your coffee every single day on your feed, please stop. Nobody wants to see that. But it's just a lot of fun, and it's just your current audience. So whoever's following you is mostly who is gonna see it. So why does it work? So we know it works because emotions drive purchasing behaviors, right? And thankfully, Instagram is a storytelling app. So if you ask any marketer or ad creator, they're gonna tell you that the number one way to sell a product is to tell the story about that. That's why you see car commercials that have nothing to do with the car, right? So your goal is to foster an emotion from your story that creates a desire to act. It starts as small as them trusting you, like we talked about, building that rapport, relating to you, being funny, to eventually buying from you. And you are the product. You are the realtor. They want to hire you. So here are some ideas to post your daily stories. And I'm not gonna list all of them. We don't have time for that. They're gonna kick me off here in a minute. But I want you to think of ways that you can tell a story that plays off emotions as you're reading this. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I have never had a client call me because I do a walkthrough video of my tours. They're great, they're beautiful, but make it interactive. Create a poll. Ask them if they like dark or light cabinets, right? Ask them if, I have one yesterday, a gold door. Do you like this, yes or no? The more engagement you have, the more people are gonna see it. So, and when maybe you do talk about upgrading your house, who are they gonna call when they go to upgrade their house? They're gonna be thinking of you. Oh, Patricia showed me that I could be updating my kitchen to make more profit. They're not gonna call me because I showed them my house tour. So learn from my mistakes. Do not be a look at me Instagram poster. I mean, you can, and I do it all the time, and if you see me doing it, you can just message me and be like, dude, please fix that. So this is one of the last things I wanna leave you with. Remember the emotions. You need to solve a problem for your ideal client from your post. So let me ask you this. Do you think someone wants to work with someone that says, look at me, I sell houses. Look at me, just went pending. No. They're gonna work with someone that tells a story. Something like, oh my gosh, my client called me, they're stressing, their husband's in Texas, they're relocating, both the kids are at home, they're stressed, they don't think the movers are gonna be able to get it all done, they just don't know what to do. And I sent them an ice cream cone, and they went and let the kids go, and I facilitated the movers at their house for them, right? Now they're less stressed. I fixed that. So do you think that somebody's thinking instead of, cool, Patricia sells houses, great for her clients, like whatever, I don't care. They're thinking, wow, look what Patricia can do for me, right? You want them to picture themselves as your client. You don't want them to picture you as, great, she's doing awesome, cool, great for her clients. No, you want them to say, wow, I want to be their client. I want that to be me. Nope, that's it.
Cut off.
So I had a video that was just some stories of some examples of what I do. I do reels a lot. But yeah, just make it fun, make it interactive, draw the emotion, think about what problem you're solving for your ideal client, and use that to really speak to them.
Yes.
Sure.
Please. We like that.
So these are just some examples. There's polls that you can do. This one got shared by like 10 of my friends because they thought it was hilarious. They're like, I can see you with your phone around your door. You can hand draw stars. You can just make it fun. Like something happens. You don't have to make it fancy, but you're just trying to solve a problem.
If it's not perfect on the first try, it's a learning opportunity, and I get to try again. It's trash. I'm trash. I never try that.
So this is an example of a look at me. Like this doesn't speak to anybody, right? This just says, cool, I'm pending. This now shows people I'm sending a thank you card for the seller at their home inspection, saying thanks for letting us in your house. So now your client's thinking, shoot, I need to buy a house with a home office. Get these kids out of here. Green carpet, do you like it or no? Everyone said no. Just if you're wondering what the answer to that was, nobody likes it. So, I mean, even just your life, like a poll, get interaction. People that are commenting, those are the ones you want to follow up with. Those are the ones you want to write messages to. They're watching you. And then make it fun and interactive, right? So, like, this is a lot more enjoyable than just a post of who pays for what. And then here's the call to action. You ready? Well, if you work with me, the seller's going to pay for it all. And then this is just being relatable. My fingers were going to turn green, and I'm changing a smoke detector. But it's just a lot more fun. So I hope you enjoyed that, just like he enjoyed the whipped cream. And thanks for having me, and I'll just sit in my seat right here on this comfy couch.
Good stuff, good stuff. I'll take that.
Oh, you want this back?
Yes, please, thank you. I think the thing that you said right there too, Patricia, was build trust. I mean, those are buzzwords. Everyone in here is a salesperson in one way or another, exactly. And we're ultimately trying to get to that one goal. But yeah, if anyone in here today can just take an idea, implement it into their own business model, that's kind of the goal of today, bringing items of value. Okay, great. Okay, we are now ready to, in just one moment, to meet our next panelist. But first, we've got a word from one of our sponsors, Apollo Drain. We filmed the music track for that on the drum set behind me earlier today. All right, yeah, thank you, Apollo. That is great. You guys rock, and I know whenever you need a plumber, you need them right then and there, don't you? So always there for us, so we thank them. Okay, time now for another trivia question. We've got quite a few of these. Same rules apply as before, so raise your hand if you think you know the answer. We're going to call on you at random. Maybe this time I'll have Patricia call on someone at random so I don't look like I'm just picking my friends out in the audience. And there are a lot of you out there. All right, our second trivia question is this one, sponsored by Fidelity National Title. They've got a lovely gift basket. What does LARC stand for? What does LARC stand for? Law and Rules Required Certification, Law and Rules Required Class, Legal Restrictions and Rules Confirmation, or Legal Requirements and Rules Course. Patricia, do you see a hand on someone that might need it? Yeah? I could have swore I thought you said V, and I'm like, there's A, B, C, and D. No, what was it again that you guessed? Wrong. Do you see another hand? Pick another hand, Patricia.
Yep, right over there.
Right over there?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, there he is. Rod. You are a winner. Ding, 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 ding. And your lovely gift basket from Fidelity is right behind you. Mike has it. He's literally going to set it in your lap right about now, if you don't step on Kyra. Good job, Rod. Rod knows all, so Rod could get all of these in no time, I can guarantee you that. Yeah, so the answer is B, Law and Rule Required Class. I have probably hosted no fewer than 30 of those in these 7 years now. By the way, Lisa had mentioned, I'm a sales executive with Lawyer's Title, been there now for 7 years. I also moonlight as a sportscaster in Portland. I've been on TV in Portland now for 20 years, so the two kind of go hand in hand. And when I started at Lawyer's Title, I had no sales experience whatsoever, so it was literally drinking water through a fire hose for the first year and a half to 2 years. And then, you know, when people asked me what CCNRs were, I was like, Creedence Clearwater Revival? You know, I don't get this. Or when they wanted to do a farm in North Portland, I was like, you got to go to North Plains, man, not North Portland. There's no farms there. So fun stuff. Anyways, let's get to our next panelist. And with that, I'm going to introduce CEO and head coach at Think Bigger. Please welcome Justin Stoddart, father of 6, you guys. I'm a father of 3. I thought I was crazy, doubly crazy, but Justin, crazy good. Good to see you, brother. Here's your little clicker.
Perfect.
Green button.
I can't remember exactly what's going to come up on this screen, so bear with me. However, from that, I do have a very important lesson for all of us. How many here, after looking at what Patricia said, thought, I have no business being on social media. I'm not that good. Anybody here have that thought? So when I was walking to the parking lot, I felt pretty confident, and I talked to her before. She's like, yeah, I got these slides all prepared. I'm like, what slides? Because I didn't read the email quite as carefully as she did. And the only thing that caused me to relax a little bit is to say, it's not about me. Okay, now this is the lesson that I want you to think about for yourselves, and that problem we just all uncovered is the fact that sometimes we are intimidated about posting on social media because we think that we're not enough, or we're not prepared, we don't have the right camera, we don't have yada, yada, yada. Okay, I had that feeling, and the only reason that made it go away was to say, this isn't about me. This is about me serving you guys and just showing up as my authentic self. So hopefully that is a lesson that we all take away from this, is that stop comparing ourselves to the all-stars that are hitting it out of the park on social media. The world needs you to stand up and share what you can to serve them, and you'll be comfortable and you'll be fine, okay? With that, let's roll. So I just want to share a couple examples of some content that I put out there, because sometimes we overthink it. The one thing that I want to say, that I'm still learning this, and some of this content will point to the fact that I'm implementing these things as we go, which is you can talk about any number of things. Think about in the real estate industry, you can be famous for lots of stuff. Area here, area B. I'm expert in negotiation. I'm expert at this. I will tell you that those that I see that really get traction are those that decide I am going to be famous for something. Because reality is, you can't be famous for more than a couple of things, or people won't remember you. We have to choose something, an area or an area of expertise. Maybe both of those, but I wouldn't go too much further than that. And once you decide what that is, then you ought to run all of your content through that filter. Does this support the fact that this is the highest and best use of me, right? We know that term in real estate. Is this the highest and best use of me getting this message and what I want to be famous for out into the world? Okay? So for me, right, what I want to be famous for is helping people to think bigger. Okay, what that means is help them to have a successful business and a significant life. I see many successful business owners who have a bankrupt life, right? Not enough time for the things that matter outside of real estate. They're always distracted, right? And as entrepreneurs, we're all a little bit guilty of that. But I regularly speak to the fact that it's success and significance. If you separate the two, there's some hollowness there, okay? So a lot of the stuff that I will post reminds people about that, helps to develop the self, okay? In that process, I believe that one of the best ways to have success and significance is through warm referrals, not cold leads. Again, that's what I want to be famous for. Okay? So I'll speak to that, I'll point to that. Now, a couple other things that you'll notice about this is I paid a little bit of money for a photographer. Okay? I dressed up and put not just the upper half of my outfit on, right? All you COVID folks know what I'm talking about. I put the whole thing on, okay? And this is very simple inside of Canva. You can create very similar text that people relate to you. Okay, if you don't know what Canva is, canva.com. Very easy way for you to go and create very simple social media graphics. But spend a little bit of money to have some decent stuff that people stop the scroll and look at you, okay? Again, another piece there. These aren't even my quotes. William James. Never met William, but I used his quote, okay? Because again, I'm driving people back to this message that it's not just about being successful, it's also about having a significant life. With that being said, I'm going to turn the controls back over to Mr. Bjornson.
All right, good job. Excellent. Coach Stoddart, everyone.
Good work.
It's inspired me to do 50 push-ups today. Speaking of heavy lifting, let's give another shout out to RPAC. They have got our backs, you guys, in Salem and DC. And let's show them that we've got theirs. And while we're on the subject of backs, Guild Mortgage, they are back with another trivia question. So this time Justin's getting, we're going to just have every panelist on these trivia questions pick someone in the audience. So you ready for another one? Yeah? You guys ready? Another question, okay. Rod, you cannot answer. You're not going to be taking all these gifts away today. All right, get ready to raise your hands. When was RPAC established? Was it 1969, 1976, 1945, or 1994? Justin, do you see anyone with a hand raised?
Hand?
Yeah?
See a hand right down here.
Right here?
Second row. Yep, you.
You. B, incorrect. No? Yeah. D, also incorrect.
Getting easier
Justin,
now.
you see anyone?
I see a hand.
Yeah.
Third
Boy,
row.
50-50. Here we go for the win. A is correct. 1969. Yep. 1969 was when RPAC was established, the answer. Yep. Which brings us to our next sponsored commercial, a message from our good folks over at Old Republic Home Protection.
We keep their homes protected with comprehensive home warranty plans. Give your listings a competitive edge, keep your commissions in your pocket, and protect your clients' budgets from inevitable breakdowns. With 45 years in business and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, you can trust ORHP.
Excellent. All right, Justin just alluded to this in his slides by having Canva, picture of him using Canva, and we are ready to meet our next panelist. That would be Realtor and Canva power user, Rochelle Yukic, bringing her up to the floor. Yeah! Yeah! See? They love you already.
Oh, I love
You haven't
it.
even said anything yet.
Thank you for having me.
Come on up.
Well, I'm Rochelle Yukic. I'm a licensed broker with Premier Property Group, and I've been in real estate about 5 years. A lot of you may know me from my involvement with Women's Council and the association. So today I'm going to talk about leveraging Canva in your real estate business. And if you don't know about Canva, I set up this great QR code for you. Go ahead and scan it today. You can have a free account, and this will give you one free Canva item. And so I want to talk about some things you can do to create with Canva. We saw these great stories that Patricia does, and you can actually create a template for this to ask stories, and you can post about holidays, and you can do postcards from marketing, you can do newsletters. How about buyer guides? Does anybody use buyer guides to just say, here, here's about the process? You can do listing presentations, you can create business cards, you can create logos. You can create your gift tags for your pop buys. There's just so many things that you can create with Canva. And here's just a few things that I've put together. Like you can running cardio with, running comps as my cardio. You try to tell the story, a little bit of personality. And just ask questions or be fun, like swipe right, like I'm gonna match with you, right? So, and you can do buyer tips or home maintenance tips, like use your vendors that you love, partner with them, get a video going. These are great ways to use Canva for your business. And the thing I love so much about Canva is they have a design school. So if you're new to designing, you can just click on here. They give you tutorials about how to use Canva, or even how to match colors if you're not into designing. There's so many tips and tricks. And then the other thing about Canva is there's templates. So you just go in there in the search bar and click real estate, and you'll see that there's so many things already there for you to use. So it's very user-friendly. There are a free version and then a premium version. And so this is just a great resource. Go ahead and scan the QR code. It'll take you right to the design school. And then lastly, here's a way to connect with me. If you scan that QR code, it is a virtual business card that I created in Canva. And if you click on any of the links, like Women's Council, it'll take you there. ARIA will take you there. Facebook link, you can connect with me there, as well as Instagram or LinkedIn. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you for having me.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. You nailed it. You crushed it. Yeah, I'm blown away. I'm blown away at the number of resources, you guys, that are available on the net. I know there's a lot of other sales executives from title companies here. You guys know as well as I do, there are literally 200 different things that we have to know a little bit about. And that's in order to help you guys, the realtors and the lenders out there. So it's amazing. Clearly, Canva is one of the cool options to explore. And speaking of cool options, the in-person raffle giveaways. We have got those. They're going to commence following the conclusion of the panel discussion, but you also have the option of entering on the online raffle. So we encourage you, head over to emar.virtualraffle.org. Trust me, you will be glad you did. And while we're on the subject of giving things away, let's unveil our fourth trivia question. This time it is sponsored by NextView Reverse Mortgage. Bring the music up. I like it, guys. Good stuff. This time Rochelle's going to help pick out someone in the crowd. And you guys know the drill. Raise your hands. Rochelle will pick you if she chooses. The question is this. Today, what is the minimum age that a borrower needs to be qualified for a reverse mortgage? To qualify for a reverse mortgage. 62, 67, 55, or 65? Rochelle?
I would just say like the third row. I just saw it. Third row right here.
Right here?
Yeah, okay. She's got a little heart.
She's got the heart out. Yeah. Yes.
Just the shadow.
What is the answer? Wrong.
Oh.
Wrong.
Okay, I say over here. How about, second row. Second one in.
C, 55. Correct.
All right.
Wow. Oh, boy. Oh. Really?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Double prize
Lee,
winners.
there's going to be a fight.
Is next view here?
A fight is going to break out.
Next view here?
Is NextView here? Are we double? Yeah. Were they the one providing? Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I know you always do. It's a proprietary reverse mortgage, is 55 or less. There you go.
So now they're trying to sell their product here. I see.
That wasn't in my script. Sorry. Maybe you guys, if it's a gift basket, maybe you guys can split it.
Yeah.
Or if it's a gift card, maybe you find something you like on Amazon. I don't know. You guys handle that. I've just got my Tito's vodka. That's all I need. All right. Speaking of age, while she was a long way to go before qualifying for a reverse mortgage, this is exciting news. EMAR President Lisa Bettendorf has successfully closed another birthday today. Woo! Where's Lisa? Where are you at, Lisa? Stand up, birthday girl.
Happy birthday. Woo!
Happy birthday. Your birthday makes the super meeting that much more super. Okay, now without further ado, time to introduce the Zentap Vice President. He has traveled, by the way, you guys, further than any of you. In fact, probably further than all of us put together. He came all the way from Miami, Florida to be here today. Dylan Meyer, please come up here. Yeah, came from Miami, and we introduced him to snow.
Wow, this light is strong.
Yeah, it is. Right.
I want to start out by thanking Lee for inviting me over here. He has one of his colleagues that's our client. We currently work with around 2,500 real estate agents across the country. We do online marketing and advertising. And what I really want to start out with is pointing out the difference between marketing and advertising, because many people tend to confuse the two. So advertising is you putting yourself in front of potential clients. Marketing, which a lot of business owners tend to forget is important, is actually putting the right information in front of your clients. And that's how you generate referrals, by the way, okay? So has anybody heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Please raise your hand. Not that many people. So I strongly recommend you guys get the book by Gary called Jab, Jab, Hook. Now, the key about this book, jab, jab means give, give. Hook means ask for the business, okay? What a lot of business owners and real estate agents do is whenever they post on social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, they're asking for business. Now, when somebody's constantly asking for business and talking about themselves and their listings, nobody cares. But if you're jabbing, providing value, educating your sphere of influence, educating your past clients, then when you go ahead and hook and show off your listing, now everybody's a lot more interested. And that's really the secret here of a lot of these YouTubers, which we use that strategy as well, right? YouTubers provide free value continuously. And then when they have a new book coming out, everybody's more than happy to purchase it. Now imagine if every single video they posted was about themselves and their books and what me. Nobody would even follow them. So really what I want to focus on right now, we don't have that much time, is getting you guys to understand that social media is best for educating clients and providing value to your prospects and to your sphere of influence, okay? It's not just like Zillow, where you're putting yourself out there and it's all about you and it's all about your listings. So kind of like what Justin really focuses on is all about referrals, right? And those are the best clients. That's what social media is all about. Media is advertising. Social media is about making that into a sphere of influence, okay? And what we do for you guys that are interested, I'm more than happy to speak a little bit about our software, our services, but we do content for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We build websites for around 2,500 agents across the country. And we really focus on what your unique sales proposition is, okay? And make sure that the content is customized to you and targeted to your sphere of influence. Thank you for letting me share.
Dylan, thank you. Appreciate it. And with a name like ZenTap, I'm hoping you can maybe advise on meditation issues. Feature my Zen, because for a while now I'm thinking of changing my mantra, but...
That's actually where we got we thought of the name ZenTap because we figured a lot of agents freak out when it comes to marketing online, right? So you got to be Zen, just ZenTap.
It works. I like it. I like it. Okay, when it comes to help, all of us in real estate community can benefit from the help of RPAC and what they provide, so let's not forget to allow them to help us. Okay, before I introduce our fifth panelist for today, we've got a spot to share from our friends at Black Knight and the Paragon resource that they offer. I think you're going to find this helpful as well. Excellent. All right, thank you, Black Knight. That was intriguing stuff. Yes. And for those of you who wish to learn a little bit more about Paragon, I imagine our friends at RMLS can lead you in the right direction. So, RMLS, shout out. All right. While we're on the subject of connecting, our next panelist is going to share with us now how to be the mayor of your own digital community. Without further ado, I'm going to bring up Mr. Dale Chumbley to the stage. And he's got this seat where he gets to sit right next to me. It's like the bad student in class, right?
Absolutely.
Sit right next to the teacher.
Your face.
Right. Is it?
Here, totally.
Is it? Okay, perfect. It's probably an improvement then.
Hey, everybody.
Right in my face. So.
I'm like, that thing's right in your face. This side is only seeing the orchids.
Yeah,
they're lovely.
Beautiful.
So thank you for having me here. It's so good. It's been a while since we've, at least in my world, having a lot of on-time or face-to-face time, so this is exciting. My name is Dale Chumbley, and I am a realtor in Vancouver, Washington. I've been selling real estate. This is my 28th year, so I'm just brand new to the business. And so as I share today, I'm just going to share a few things and some experiences that I've had in my life that, as Adam said in the very beginning, hopefully there's just something, and I would say that for everybody that said anything today, look for that one thing. Because that whole fire hose concept, there's a lot of stuff, then you're in, right now I know each of you are taking notes like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you're setting yourself up to fail on all of them. Find something that is said by somebody on this stage today that resonates, where you're like, I could do that one thing I could actually make happen, and spend time doing it. Keep your notes, go back to the other things that are also really great ideas, but master the one before you go to the next. So I'd love to share just a quick, brief history of a little bit of myself and sort of my journey, and maybe there's something along the way that you resonate with to go, oh, I could do something like that. Not what I do, not what each of us does, because we're all individual people. So I'm from Vancouver, Washington. How many of you were, I can't see everybody, if I do this, I can. How many of you were selling real estate before 2010? Yep. Quite a few of you. So you see that huge plummet? That was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, my entire sphere of influence of real estate, the people that were sending me business, they just disappeared because the whole market crashed. And so all of the people that I was helping buy and sell homes, they were kind of like, you know what? We need to just take a break here because the market was crashing. They either couldn't sell, they didn't know where to go, all sorts of things happened. And I realized at that moment, I need to find another source of business. I need to find another place to be. And this online space was just really starting to become a thing. The world didn't know it was a thing yet, but 15 years ago, it was definitely becoming a thing. So I was in this vast wasteland, like, where am I? What am I going to do? How am I going to find these people? I need to be online. I need to figure out this space. And as I met people, I would say, hey there, I'm Dale, I'm from Vancouver. And they would go, oh, I love Vancouver. I love Vancouver too, but you're thinking of Canada. I'm not from Vancouver. I'm from the one that's in Clark County. Clark County, I love Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas too, but guess what? That's not the Clark County I'm from. I'm from the one that's in Washington. Oh, I love DC. So do I, but guess what? That's not the Washington that I live in. This was the challenge of my world. So I had to figure out how can I get online and become the one person that everybody thinks of, online and offline, when anything real estate related is needed pertaining to the town, the village, postcode, geographic defined community, whatever community is. Community can be a lot of different things. That's what I had to do. That was my challenge. And I was starting to build online. This is my MySpace profile. How many of you had MySpace? Come on. How many of you sold real estate because of MySpace? Anybody? There's one. I'll tell you, I've sold millions and millions of dollars as a result of MySpace. Wow. In real estate. I've sold millions of dollars, not currently, but that was a starting point of being online and creating a presence. And the thing that I have learned throughout, no matter what platform you're in, if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, if you're Facebook, MySpace, whatever the platform is that you're on, the most successful thing that I've done is find opportunities to get face-to-face. Find ways to get face-to-face with the people in your world. The last couple of years, that's been a little bit trickier. But going forward, find ways to get face-to-face. What are some of the things that I've done to do that? You joked about nobody wants to see your cup of coffee every day. That's true. That said, maybe there's a brand new coffee house in town. You go to that coffee house and you take a photo of your latte with the latte art and everything, and you talk about that new business, and here's this great new coffee house. The people in your world, whether on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever your platform is, those people are going to comment on that cup of coffee. That looks awesome. When that person says that looks awesome, what have they just done? They've opened the door for an invitation to say, it was awesome. Can I meet you for coffee next week? Get face-to-face. How can you find opportunities to use your food, to use your drinks, to use the things? And people joke about food, but guess what? What's the one thing we do 2 to 3 times every single day, and we all talk about it? Food. Don't be afraid of it. 12 years ago, I created this little thing in Vancouver called 365 Things to Do in Vancouver, Washington. It was a blog on my website, my hub, the place I wanted people to go. They could also find homes for sale. They could find content about that. I was creating something 7 days a week for 365 days. We'll talk more about that later on. I'm sure there'll be a question or two about that. But what I was doing was I was highlighting my community. It wasn't about me, it was about my community. I talked about the challenge, Vancouver, Washington. How can people know what Vancouver, Washington is? How can I highlight all the things that there are to do? And I did successfully create 365 things to do in Vancouver, Washington. 7 days a week for a year. I posted video, and this was 12 years ago, video every day of the week, photos every day of the week, written content on my blog, posted onto Facebook. Instagram didn't even exist yet at that point in time. It was just getting ready to come on. Creating content about my community, cheerleading the things in my community, talking about the stuff to do. Because people come in and they want to buy and sell a house, but what's the thing that they do every single day outside of buying and selling that house? They live in our community. They live where they're at. They want to know, where's a good restaurant? Where can I go for a walk? Where can I take my dog? Where can I see a theater show? Whatever it is, that was what I was doing, was highlighting and cheerleading my community, becoming an expert in it. Again, find opportunities, ways to get in touch with your community. I was meeting the owners, I was meeting the customers, I was meeting people all the time. Get face-to-face. Provide value. Several people have said that today. Provide items of value, things that you can actually give to your community to make it successful for them and helpful for them in what they're doing. This is a map somebody created that they actually had on their wall, putting pins of things that they have done and things they wanted to do, all based upon content about the community. They were brand new into the area. They actually posted this on their social media, talking about this amazing resource that had introduced them to their community. Create raving fans. People that are going to, you talked about that, people that are going to cheerlead for you. People in the online space that are going, hey, you need resources, you need a real estate person, you need somebody to help with this. Here's just a few examples of people over the years that have shared different things. Not only did I create a presence in the local area, but nationally. People around the country found out what Vancouver, Washington was, where it was, and who was the person that was the ambassador for that community. And to this day, I continue to receive referrals and people moving into my community from content that was created 12 years ago on that 365 things to do. Here's something that somebody had said. For those that can't see it, it says, yes, Facebook can be absolutely a business building strategy. Dale freaking Chumbley, my middle name's not actually freaking, but we'll go with that, did it several years ago, and very few agents actually followed that model. He built a page around his community and posted content daily about cool things to do where he lives, which was unreal because he lives 20 minutes away from me, Portland. I know the town, and I can't think of a single thing to do there, yet Dale unearthed 365 things to do, and that was genius. It was not about him, it was about where he lives. It's about where each of you live. He says, I think 12,000 people liked and followed. We were a little over 17,000 people still on that page to this day. I have no idea how much business Dale did from that, a lot. It's not my place to ask, but as a marketer, I found the effort to be really creative, but that is one effort, one idea. Hopefully it gave you an idea, and I'm looking forward to this panel and hearing from everybody up here, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Good job.
Thank you.
I want to know more about MySpace because I had one friend, Tom. That's all I had.
I was friends with Tom too. We were close.
Everyone had, yeah.
Everybody, were you close
Everyone
with
loved
Tom?
Tom.
Oh, it was my
Yeah,
number one.
good stuff.
Top 10.
Mayor Dale's getting my vote. There you go. Okay, we're going to have a great discussion. And before we get into that, you guys, I want to remind everyone here in Troutdale and anyone that is still watching online that there are still opportunities for you to win a raffle prize. They are still there. In addition to the raffles we're going to be conducting here in person following the conclusion of the panel discussion today, we also have an online raffle that is open to everyone through Tuesday, March 1st. So just go to, and I'm going to pound this into your minds, emar.virtualraffle.org to purchase as many online raffle tickets as you desire. Okay, let's get this panel discussion started. A panel discussion like this does not really flow unless we get great interaction from you guys. So feel free, because we're having a hard time because these lights are very blinding, feel free, just get comfortable with the people around you and just shout out questions if you've got them. But yeah, these are, it's funny because, you know, these five up here are the experts in their field. Lee had asked me, he said, hey, will you MC this for us? And I said, Well, I can drive the bus. I can't even get my kids on the bus at 7:30 in the morning. So this is this will be interesting. This will be fun. But very much looking forward to this. They're going to have a lively exchange of ideas and information. So, okay, let's start us off. What can realtors expect from social media, and what are viable ways to measure its effectiveness on each individual's business? Because the options, you guys, are plentiful. I don't even know where to begin. I have an Instagram account, for instance. I'm active on Facebook and Twitter. After that, I probably haven't logged into my LinkedIn in 2 or 3 years. I see all the requests and the views and all of this. It's overwhelming at times, and I don't know where to begin. So from a realtor's perspective, if you guys, how many people here are, the mic falls off. Hello. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Lee. Gotcha. Is hair and makeup on the way? Trying. Where do you begin? Is anyone here right now? And this, we need to know if people here aren't active on social media. Is there anyone here not active that would like to become active on social media? Or doesn't know where to begin, yeah? I mean, how do you get someone just started, because you guys are the pros?
I would say you need to go with what you're going to use. So if you're not going to log on there, do not set up an account. Do not start posting, because you'll get interaction from people in your messages, and if you're not on there and you're not checking, it doesn't look good on your part. So make sure whatever you sign up for, you're going to actively use. So that would be my advice for you.
What moves the needle? First and foremost, like if you are using social media to gain business, what is the first thing that you should do? What's the first social media outlet that's going to get you business a little bit more?
I would say don't try and use it to get business. That would be, be personable, be human, be real, allow them to get to know who you are. And as far as the location, where are the people in your world? Your current clients, where are they at? For me, I can tell you, I have Instagram, I love Instagram. My playground is Facebook. That's where I'm going to get engagement and interaction. It's like, it's the whole adage of showing up at a cocktail party and handing business cards to everybody saying, hi there, I'm a realtor, hi there, I'm a realtor. Mm-hmm. That's the fastest way to turn them off. How do you become human, and where's the playground? The people that are already there, that's where I would spend my time and focus and building that business.
And Patricia, you could probably speak to that too, because that's all you're doing, right, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is just any content is going to be good content for you.
Well, and it's funny because I always speak to each platform is going to have a different audience, right? So for me, Instagram, I get a completely different following and interaction than I do on Facebook. So I'll post the same thing on both sides, and even a poll will have polar opposite responses, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? So do I need to disconnect them? At one point, I kind of feel like you kind of just have to do it, right? So you're going to play and figure out what makes the most sense for you, but then figure out what platform works for your ideal client and be there and pick something that you're going to be consistent on.
Justin, let me ask you. Yeah, every person is different. Everyone's got a different way of how they want to do things and utilize social media. What do you find working best?
Yeah, so I think it's important to go back and ask, and this has been said by a couple of people, and I think I even emphasize it, is we have to go back at a universal level. All of you are able to help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And the thought is, I'm going to say that, I'm going to cast as wide of a net as possible so I can catch as many people as possible. And that's actually like a strategy that will not work. Mm-hmm. Because you're in a sea of sameness if you do that, right? Every realtor that they know also can help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And remember, your job is to become famous in their mind. I like to say that it's you're gaining real estate in their brain. You're trying to be remembered. And so ask yourself, who is the person, the clients that I love to serve? Sure, I love any of them that will close a deal with me, but beyond that, who are the ones that I actually thrive? I get more energy working with them. And then ask the question, where do they hang out? And then what are their problems? And then what can I do to solve those problems? I think if you go through that, like who are the people, where are they at, what are their problems, how do I serve them? Social media gets fun and easy. And I think the question about what do I get out of it, you start to get some friends and some connections, which is where it all begins.
It can be overwhelming, right? How many of you in here feel that? Like social media is so overwhelming, I don't know where to begin. It's just there's this, there's that, the other. I have signed up for all of these, and again, I know how valuable your time is. You've got 6 kids. I've got 3, and they take up a ton of time. So it's hard to invest time in social media, but if you can become a pro at one and not have to try to fumble through all of them, would you say that's best? Dylan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, social media, whether we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or even if we're talking about MySpace and TikTok, they're just blank sheets of paper, right? And I feel like the first step is listening to the complaints that people are having in your community and where they're not getting those resources. You want to find a niche, right, where you can pretty much tell them, well, if you go to my page, you're going to be able to get information that you're not getting anywhere else. I love what Dale is doing. No wonder it works, because where else are you going to go to get 365 things to do in your community, right? That's where you're going to go. So you want to do the same thing on your social media pages, is you want to listen to the complaints of your clients, and ideally you want to have a problem or a challenge that you can relate to, right? A lot of the value that Dale is providing is things that he struggled with himself, right? People were not able to, whatever the case was for him, he's providing value to his clients, but it's something that's personal to him. So he's passionate about providing that value. He's not just doing it to get business. He's doing it because he authentically can relate and he can provide that value. When he's going to go ahead and have a home for sale, or when he's going to ask for the listing, that's the hook. But he's been providing value the entire time. So the clients are more than happy to provide him the business.
Anyone have any question that's at the top of their mind right now? Because if you don't, I've got an entire sheet that I can go through that are very good questions.
There's a question over here.
Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
I've heard it both ways, like social media for your business and then social media. And then I hear, oh no, just put them all together. And so you read it, and everywhere you go, somebody has something to say about it. But how do you work that? Because you've got, 4 different social medias, and then you've got a business and a personal. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll speak to that. I think in your industry, real estate, people are hiring, as Patricia said so well, they're hiring a person, right? They're not even buying a product, they're hiring a person. And they have to like and know the person and know that the person's competent. So although you might need a business page in order to do ads, should you want to at some point, the goal of social media is to connect with people. And people don't connect with brands. Like you put the image of, and I don't know what your logo looks like, but a lot of them have a house and a such and such properties. People don't connect to that. Like they connect to the person behind that. So I would say it ought to be combined. That's my opinion.
100%.
Wait. In the interest of social media, people in the audience, we can hear them here, but we're not hearing them out.
Oh, that's right. Gotcha. Repeat the question. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The question, by the way, those that are online was the utilization or implementing 2 different Facebook pages, for instance. So that was the response you just heard. And Dale's going to...
Oh, 100%. 100% what Justin said is absolutely correct. You have to have a business page if you're going to do any kind of advertising or anything like that. But beyond that, you're going to establish the relationship through the personal.
Yeah, why have 2? It's like an alter, I don't know. You're having a different person over here, but this is really me. Feels like there's a disconnect somewhere in there.
The only thing I would add to that, though, is make
please.
sure, depending on what you like to do, be careful if you are using your business page and your personal page together, because I do that a lot. Just watch the content that you're putting out, too, because we were just in Orlando, and we had some fun, but we weren't posting those on our stories, right? We're going to keep that in-house. So just know that if you're using your business page and your personal page together, just keep in mind what you are posting and keeping it tasteful from a business standpoint, too. I mean, they want to get to know you. I mean, yes, we all party, sure, but they don't need to see you taking your clothes off either. Unless you're on the close friends list. That's the green circle.
Yeah, or text threads, right? I've got a family text thread, and we're raw in there, right? We share kind of how we really feel about the state of the world.
Right.
And I wouldn't put that on social media, right? It would turn away people the people that I could serve and that need my service. So I think it's important to realize just because you want to share something doesn't mean social media is the right place to share it.
Yeah.
Amen on that. We can all agree, right? If you post anything political these days, be ready to fend from the other side, because someone's going to not agree with that. So it's best just to stay away entirely.
One thing I want to add to that, if you are going to be using your personal account, make sure it's public, right?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many agents we work with, their accounts are private, so nobody can see the content. Your social media is like your online business card, right? or your online flyer, you want to make sure that everything is easily accessible and that people don't need to friend you and then you have to accept the request, because the harder you make it for people to interact with you, the least likely they are to interact with you.
Yes. All right, anyone else have any questions? Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Dale. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. The question was using Google and how to utilize that in promoting yourself.
In what sense? Google is?
Google Business Page.
Yeah.
Google Business Page?
Yeah, Google My
Page.
Business.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Have a
absolutely.
Google My Business page. One of the things that I've actually been recently doing is photographing the fronts of businesses. I've got a local business in Vancouver, and I don't understand what's happened and why, but it has had almost 250,000 views of a little restaurant in downtown Vancouver over the last 3 months. And I get stats from them, and people, you're sitting there on your phone and you're in town and you want to go see something, and the first thing you're doing is you either jump on Yelp or Google. And simply writing reviews helps get you more traction and visibility in your community. But something literally as simple as you're in front of a spot, take a photo of the business. We now have Voodoo Donuts in Vancouver. I just photographed it and put it up on there. So now when somebody goes to look up Voodoo Donuts, they're now going to see the photo that I took of Voodoo Donuts. It has nothing to do with real estate, but it has to do with this is my community. I live here. I function here. I've been here my entire life. And I know the community, and that's what people are looking for when they're looking to come to the area.
The first place people are going to go when they want to know more about you is they're going to go to Google.
Yep.
And if you have a Google business page, they're super easy to set up. We set them up all the time at Lawyers Title, 15 minutes. And just Google yourself and find out if you come up over in the sidebar with your property or your business address, contact information, all that stuff. It's super easy to do.
And ultimately, I mean, you want to use Yelp, right? You want to use Google. You want to use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can be on MySpace if you want. But ultimately, like Dale was saying, is you want to have that one thing. It's impossible to be excellent everywhere, right? But if you focus on one platform, you can be present in all the platforms. But if you are going all out in one specific area, right, whether that's Facebook or whether that's Instagram, those are the two main ones, then you're much more likely to succeed than if you try to be successful everywhere, right? It's kind of like trying to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. If you try to focus on pleasing one specific client, they're going to be really happy.
Okay, real quick. Do you want to say something, Justin?
Yeah, just
Go
quick
ahead.
point
Yeah.
that to Dale's point, little pro tip there if you didn't catch it. What's one thing that we all can't get enough of? Warm referrals, right? And what's a great way to get that is oftentimes by having great testimonials. Oftentimes we would love it when people give us testimonials. We're like ecstatic about it. What if you were to say, every day I'm going to give a business a testimonial? Like, what would that do to just the relationships you have in the community? Like, absolutely brilliant. So that's a very easy, tactical thing that everybody can do here. You all go to businesses in town. Just start picking one. Maybe one a day is ambitious for you, but I think you probably surprise yourself about how many places you could say good things about. And it's amazing how that stuff starts to return. Not that you'll require it, but stuff will start to come back to you.
And just to add to that, as I mentioned earlier, interview your favorite plumber, interview your favorite electrician, interview the people that your clients are going to interact with, and post about it, because it's a way for them to support your favorite people, and you're using these vendors anyway, so it's a great resource.
And you can be using Apollo Drain, as we had earlier.
Call
As your
Apollo.
plumber, right? Cross-reference. I've got some great questions here, you guys, and these are coming from a lot of you. And I'm going to start down here with Patricia, and we're just going to kind of work our way down, but since she's kind of the Instagram queen right now up here, we need to know, yes, wear it well, what are the top 3 tips? How many people out here are on the gram, as they call it, as the kids call it these days? Yeah. A lot of you? And use it for real estate? Use it for business? Yeah? Okay. Top 3 tips for using Instagram stories.
Yeah, so these are actually going to be pretty much everything that we've already set up here today. But first one is find your niche, right? And when I say ideal client, I don't want to just hear like home buyer. Because yes, sure, we all want home buyers or listings or whatever that is. I want you to specifically think down to maybe who your last clients were that you enjoyed working with, and what were their interests, and what are their problems, and how are you going to connect with them? So like for mine, a lot of mine are professionals, right? And so I try to think of like that video with my kids in the home office. Like the problem I'm solving is they need a new home office. So I'm able to kind of hone in on what my niche is, who my preferred clients are, and then work towards that, of course, for housing. Yes, absolutely. And then use the features that are on the platforms that you're using. So Instagram features, they have music, they have polls, you can ask questions, and the more that people are engaging with you, like Dale had mentioned, those are the ones that you're gonna reach back out to. So if I see somebody that's watching all of my stories, that is a lead for me, right? I'm gonna reach out to them and I'm gonna connect with them because I know that they're relatable and they don't like gold doors. Okay, cool, now I can open up. Or they liked my coffee and they asked me where that coffee shop is. And I'm gonna tell them exactly where it's at, and I'm gonna tell them that there's a house next door for sale. Do you wanna go look at it? And not in those terms, of course, but you just wanna make sure that you're using the features that are on your system, whatever one that you guys choose to use, because that's gonna get you more engagement and that's gonna get you in front of more people. Let's think about the Super Bowl. How much do you think those people paid for those commercials, right? Where else can you get somebody's entire screen with your face on it, right? Where can you see that? So it's free marketing, you guys. You're right in front of them and you are the entire screen. There's no distractions. It's not like on our Zoom calls when we have the other screen open and we're working and we're still listening. No, you're front and center. So use the features to be in front and then be consistent across all platforms. So if you're not gonna use Instagram, then don't let Instagram be the place that you be, but be consistent. Post on your stories, post on your feed, and just continue to do that. I like to think of it as email, okay? So let's think about Instagram stories as an email analogy here. So your stories are essentially the email that you're sending out. You're dripping on your clients. They choose to open it. They choose to open their story. So if you're messing up and you're not making it interesting for them, they're not gonna open your story. So the posts and the reels that we make, that's us going out and gathering more leads. That's us gathering and getting face-to-face and picking those emails up. Because I can't just email anyone that wants to buy a house in Beaverton. If I could, I'd be rich, right? I mean, we all would. So think of it from that standpoint, is the posts and the reels or whatever platform you're on, using that and being consistent, because that's how you're getting more people. And then I'm using stories to then have them open my story, open my email, and I'm first in line and in contact and right on their screen.
I love that. I mean, you said it, and I think everyone here can agree. Consistency is key in everything we do, whether it's social media or in life. You want to get better at something, be consistent
Practice,
at it.
Yeah.
This is a great question, too. If I post on Instagram stories every day, will I grow my following?
The short answer is no. So I made that mistake a long time ago, as I was constantly on my stories and I was constantly in front of my sphere. And granted, yes, my current audience, they loved me. I was great, but I was only selling so many houses because those people are only buying once or twice a year for me, and that's my sphere, right? So you want to just make sure that you're using your posts and everything to get more people involved. So stories are great. It's going to build that trust for the people that you currently have, your current audience that's opening your stories. So then you'll see if you have one that flops, don't post that again. Make sure you're adding captions, so that's how it's not going to grow your business. The stories are not, but they're going to build the rapport and they're going to make those connections deeper, just like everyone's saying, get in face-to-face. Meet those people where they're at.
Yeah. Can I ask you the question? What do you recommend to grow the following then? If stories doesn't do it, how do you reach a wider audience?
So if you're doing just stories, you can tag the people. You can go to another local shop and get them to reshare, and then people are following you. But you have to have enough content on your post and on your page for them to want to stay, right? So your posts and your reels are what are going to garnish that interest, and so you want to make sure that your post is what is getting out there, using hashtags, being local, getting out there and asking people to follow you.
Okay, Coach Stoddard. Coach is up. Woo. We're moving down. What is the end goal of being on social media as a professional?
I love it. I think if the end goal, and Dale spoke about this, which is conversion happens in conversation. Like people choose to use you once they're in conversation with you. So if the goal is just to post and ghost and be known, there's minimal value for you. But everything that you're posting should be, is this going to lead me to be in conversation with people? And if it's not, now it could be a conversation using DMs. Patricia told the story today about how she's working with people that only knew her through Instagram. That's fascinating, isn't it? Yeah. But we have to be asking ourselves, what content can I put out there that sparks a conversation? Stories is a great way to do that. There's some ways to do it in posts as well. But I believe that the end-all, be-all goal is eventually even to get ideally face-to-face with people. In this world today, that's maybe less important than it used to be in the past, still important. But the key, again, is to be in conversation with people. That's how you find out what they need and how you can serve them.
What are some of the most important components to using social media right now?
Be interactive. Right? These are things that I'm learning. And if you're not following me on Instagram, at Justin Stoddard, I'll put that plug in there real quick, and you'll see the journey that I'm on. If you go back and look at some of my previous stuff, it's very much posts and ghosts. In fact, some of it I wasn't even doing myself. And I've realized now that this is a place for conversations to happen, right? This is not just a billboard. Billboards don't get you very far, right? They might reinforce a conversation that you had, or maybe warm up a conversation that you will have, but the most important thing you do is a conversation. So I would say that anything on any platform that you're doing, if you can get people to start to interact with it, that's the best use of it, is how do I get interaction from people so that I can find out what they want, what they like, what they need, so that then I can be in conversation to help them get that.
As our fearless leader at Lawyer's Title always says, the fortunes and the follow-up. Have that interaction, and I love the conversion happens in conversation. I love that. That is such a great line for us to take. Yeah, good, yeah. Okay, Rochelle, you are up. I'm going to pass by Dale here. But I'm coming back to him, don't you worry. What are ways that you can utilize Canva to get yourself seen on social media?
Well, Canva is a great place to kind of brand yourself, and so I'm a sucker for systems and processes, and so if you find something that you like, just you can repeat. And the other good thing is you can work with resources like Etsy. I mean, people already have this stuff put together. You buy it, you plug it into Canva, you put your own photos in, and you use it every time. So when people see that, they start to look for, oh gosh, oh, she's got a new listing. Oh, I can't wait to check it out. So it's just a way to kind of set yourself up for success, systems, processes, consistent branding and marketing for yourself. And so I think that's that, yeah.
Aside from tapping on your QR code, which they should have all done, every one of you. Yes, good. How do people get started with Canva? How hard is it?
It is fairly, like I said, user-friendly. So you kind of just like go in the search bar. I mean, if you haven't tapped on it yet, you can just get in there, and there's tutorials. There is design school, like it will tell you how to, create something from scratch if you want to, it's a YouTube instructional video. But also in the search bar, you just kind of click, there's a Canva for beginners in that design school, and then also in the search bar, if you just click real estate, there's so many things that pop up, like listing, open house, flyers, and then like I mentioned before, you can create postcards and Instagram stories, videos with your favorite people, so many different things, but it's a way to kind of brand yourself so that they look for, oh gosh, oh look at that logo, that's Rochelle, or look at that marketing, that's Rochelle. So it's a good way to kind of stand out.
Good stuff. Okay. Okay, Dale, let me ask you, the mayor, do you recommend others, what you did with that 365 things, do you recommend others take on that similar type of project? Seems a little daunting. You guys up for
Everybody
a challenge?
come in here.
Yeah.
Bring it. The
Just
quick
do
answer.
all 365 different than what Dale did. Yeah.
The quick answer to that question is don't do it. Okay. It was amazing. I'm so thankful that I did it. I've learned so much through that process. But the thing that I would encourage each of you to think about is we all have a different community. It doesn't have to be a physical location. And I will tell you, the 365, that aspect of it, on day one, I didn't realize the impact of what I was doing. It was February 16th that I started, and I decided I had been thinking about it for about a year, and on February 15th, I said, I'm starting tomorrow. Oh, no. And I called it day one of 365 things to do. And I posted that night. And on day two, at 10 o'clock at night, somebody posted on that page and said, we knew you'd never make it. What? And all of a sudden, the gears clicked into place and went, oh, shoot, they expect this every day. Because I called it day one of 365 things. So how do you become, isn't that funny? It was like this big, and then
like,
it was
what
like,
did I
lit a
do
fire
to
though, didn't
myself?
it?
at that point it was challenge accepted. Like, I will do this. I had people stressed out all over the world. They'd be 11 o'clock at night. Dale, you haven't posted yet. Like, I've got this, because I was still selling real estate. So find your community. For anybody in here that follows me on social media, shout it out if you think of what I'm thinking about. What am I learning that I started taking up within the last year? Guitar. So guitar, I have found an entire new community around the guitar. Never played guitar in my life. I'm 52 years old, and this last year I picked it up for the very first time, having a blast. I have found an entire new community around guitar. Here's a fascinating community story around guitar. There's a guitar player from Australia that's amazing. His name is Tommy Emmanuel. If you're not familiar with him, check him out. He's incredible. He played here in Portland 2 nights just last month. I went to the concert, sat in the front row, met him beforehand. It was super cool to get to do that. While I'm there, what am I doing? I'm shooting video. Not the whole show, but I'm shooting different segments of the songs. I take one of those videos, I've put it on my YouTube channel that has real estate and concerts and my kids building volcanoes in school and all kinds of stuff. It's all a big mess of stuff. I posted a Tommy Emmanuel video of him playing the guitar, my new community. 2 weeks ago, I get an email. Hi, Dale. You don't know me. An email to my inbox. Hi, Dale. You don't know me. I live outside of Anchorage, Alaska. My son lives in Portland. He and I were at that concert. Thank you so much for this video. It's amazing. My wife and I are thinking in the next 12 to 18 months to relocate, not to Portland, but to Vancouver. Can we please start a conversation about what that would look like for us? That's a community. Do you ride Harleys? Do you sew? Do you crochet? Do you fly fish? It's all a community. How can you find opportunities to get face-to-face? And in this case, it'll be a Zoom face-to-face, but it's still face-to-face about something like playing guitar and sticking it on my YouTube channel.
I find that super interesting. I just had a client of mine recently, and unless he's watching online, I know this is the secret, we'll be safe by telling the story, but he said that what he was doing in order to kind of gain an edge in the industry and do something different was he's part of a mountain biking community, and what he does now is every Sunday goes to different mountain biking spots, brings donuts and coffee and waits for them there at 8 in the morning.
Brilliant.
He's there for 45 minutes, he says, and he makes that connection with all of those brand new circle of people.
And those bike riders, they are avid,
Yeah.
and they are faithful.
Think outside the box a little, right?
What do you love? What's your passion?
How has creating your digital mayorship really impacted your business? I mean, we just heard that story, and that's one of many, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. So 28 years in the business, and for the first 15 of those, I wasn't a relo agent, so in my mind, people didn't really relocate to Vancouver, Washington. They just didn't, because I wasn't a relo agent, and that wasn't the business I was getting. It was my local friends and family and sphere. I wasn't having people come. And I will tell you that that 90% of my business, over 90% of my business is all repeat referral, past client, and those referrals, now half of that business is coming from somewhere out of the area, from realtors around the country. The impact of the 365 things to do, in that era, there was people all over the country trying to do it, and I know 3 people, myself and 2 others, that actually successfully did 365 things to do. But that created an opportunity and an awareness of realtors, plus volunteerism. RPAC and volunteering, so for those of you that are volunteers with EMAR, thank you very much. If you're not, you should be getting asked by somebody that is a volunteer to get involved at EMAR. That's a totally side note. But anyway, that volunteerism has been huge, along with the content and creating the things around my community and just hopefully being a likable person online. But it's completely transformed my business.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
A quick comment.
Yeah, go ahead,
I was
Justin.
going to say, I think that there's a great lesson in that, and I always tell agents that I talk with, there's a lot of ways to build a great business, but all of it, any one of it, takes you being willing to get up day in and day out and do that thing. And if you aren't willing to get up and do that thing, then it won't work. The magic bullet is consistency. Will you get up and do it? So if we're here all talking about social media, then be sure that the way you're putting yourself, you're talking about things that you can actually talk about every day. Because if it's like, this is so boring, but I think people like this. No, find something you want to talk about. Because then you'll actually do it every day, and then it will work.
Right.
Make the needle move.
Yeah.
Make the needle move. Before we get to Dylan, any other questions that anyone's got? Feel free to just yell them out if you've got them.
Of
if it's something that's on your mind right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Agent-to-agent referrals. I know all three of you are really good with that around the country. Like Dale plays Happy Birthday for people on his guitar.
Every day.
Throughout the country.
Every day.
Michelle does amazing pop-bys. Same with Patricia. Maybe talk a little bit about that, how much money and how that can work.
Can you repeat that question so they can...
Yeah. So the question was, using referrals in order to get the business, moving, and how that's impacting their own personal businesses. Yeah. Anyone of you guys that want to take it?
So I, like Dale, I got involved. I was the PMAR YPN chair. I was tapped on the shoulder by Lindsay, thankfully. And it's all just the connection, right? So how we're getting those referrals is we're just meeting with those people and we're trying to get face-to-face when we can at the conventions, of course, in Chicago, and just making them see that you're the expert and just building those relationships for me is what's been working. I just will comment on them or I'll be like, hey, did you try this? Or they'll bounce things off of me. People I just met today that are asking me questions about their transaction, like I'm the expert and I'm like, I don't even know your transaction, but yeah, I'll give you my feedback. Here's what I think. But it's nice because sometimes not only is an entrepreneurship, if you can say that word, is it lonely, but sometimes real estate's lonely too. It's a roller coaster. I can't tell you how many times I call on my referrals and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I am struggling today. Can I talk with you a little bit? And just seeing what's working for them or what's not, and just building those relationships and connections on a more intimate level. And then, of course, they're calling you or they are asking, like, hey, do you know somebody that works in Clark County? Or do you know someone that would be with EMAR that I can refer out to? Because they're talking amongst themselves looking for people. I ask people all the time, who do you know in this person if I don't have that connection personally? So that works for me, is just building that connection, because it's a people business. And not only is it people with your clients, but it's people within your industry. And if they don't want to work with you, they're going to tell their clients that realtor is not fun to work with, so you maybe don't want to accept their buyer's offer. So be careful.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to just say, I found that sharing, you meet people all over, all across the country, even all over the state, and sharing stats. Thank you, RMLS, for providing that. But, if you share those stats, people are interested. They kind of want to know what's going on, and that gets some conversation going. And just using that information and just those connections. I've also used little pop-bys when you go to real estate conferences, just like, something like the key to your Oregon referrals or something like that, using Canva for those little tags. So it goes a long way when you're meeting people to just have a little extra something, a little pop-by for either your people or the agents that you're meeting, and then that creates, good content and connection so that you can get those referrals.
Build rapport.
Yeah.
And her pop-bys are so cute using Canva. They're freaking adorable. So follow her.
Okay, he traveled farther than anyone. You guys heard me say it earlier, all the way from Miami. Dylan Meyer. What is the main benefit to using social media for real estate agents? That's a very broad question.
Very broad question.
Yeah.
Social media, the way I would kind of look at it is it's your channel, right? Kind of like where you watch different TV channels. Why would somebody log on to your channel? What's the value that you're providing that they're not going to get anywhere else, right? And then when we watch a specific channel over and over again, we tend to buy the products that they advertise, right? So it's kind of building your channel, and then it's also building a fan base that you can interact with on a regular basis, and that they'll interact with you. But on top of that, why is social media so important? Because real estate is a social business, right? You guys are not in the real estate business, you guys are in the social business. You guys are in the business of people. And the best place to meet people in this century is on social media. Otherwise, we're shaking hands in person, and now with COVID, it's been pretty hard to meet in person. So social media is COVID friendly. You guys can meet people and interact with them and build relationships with them without actually having to meet them face to face. Ultimately, the goal is to meet them face to face, but it's a way to initiate and warm up the interaction, right? Once it's warm, then you go ahead and you meet them in person, and you can close the sale that way, right? But the key with social media is it's warming up your sphere of influence. Cold spheres don't really want to meet in person, right? We want to meet with people that we feel we can relate with, that we're familiar with. So if it's just putting ads and then expecting to get an appointment, it's not going to be as successful as putting an ad warming them up with social media, high quality content, interactions, and then meeting in person. So it's kind of like a prerequisite to your meeting.
Maximizing social media's use. You know, that's something a lot of people do very well.
Right.
Right?
I mean, no, I don't think a lot of people maximize.
Some people, yeah, some people do.
Some people do.
Yeah. The majority don't.
Right. Honestly, I mean, I'm a real fan of what Dale is doing. Okay. I mean, that's exactly what we preach. But it's not the 365 things to do that's the key to his success. It's the fact that he's passionate about that. Right. Dale was doing it for so long and so consistently, not because he was just trying to get the business, because if he was just trying to get the business right away, he would have stopped after day 30 or before. He continued to do it because he was passionate about the content that he was putting out, and it got to a point where the business started coming in the other way around, right? So the key here is to be passionate about what you're posting about, and if you do it consistently, when you do ask for the business, like I've been saying, then it will come a lot easier.
What do you guys think? You taking anything away from this today so far? Yeah? You guys ready to sign up for Canva? Get ready to post some Instagram stories? All of that? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about community and not necessarily targeting your community, but
Serving your community.
serving your community. Yeah. Is there sort of a fine line we have to be careful of? Because we talked about like a biking community or a hiking community, but when we start talking about our church community or LGBTQ community, like do we need? I guess I'm just wondering if there's like a cautionary tale where we should be careful.
Yeah, and the question for those watching online is, being just sensitive to certain topics when you are looking to basically gain business. Is that more or less what? Yeah? Yeah.
There's concern in other areas of the state about potential discrimination or bias or whatever. And so I'm just wondering if we would need to.
Well, I think everyone in here can agree right now with what Facebook and what's been happening with Facebook and how I've had probably 15 or 20 friends of mine say, I just got completely off Facebook. I don't even post on Facebook anymore because it's so divisive and so tearing people apart rather than bringing people together as a community. And I can't blame them for it at all. There's good and bad with everything. Twitter, don't even get on Twitter. Okay, I'm here to tell you. I'm on there because I need that for the other job.
Twitter used to be a conversation.
Now it's just people attacking
Twitter
other
was
people.
15 years ago. Twitter was a conversation. You actually went there to talk just like we're talking now. I would say, I mean, depending upon, so it's a great question, and I'm not sure exactly where you were going with the question, but knowing your community and the people you're close with. I mean, I've got friends that go political, and it turns off a ton of people, but they really gel tightly with the people that they're aligned politically with. It's not the way I do it. You will never see anything political on anything I post online. I also, I live a very PG life, so I don't have to think about the late night parties because that's just not part of my world. That's down there. But I'm not in a green circle, so it's okay.
I can never find anyone to watch my kids, so.
but that's great advice to be careful of it. So I think that depending upon what those communities are and who you're talking about, you have to kind of gauge that yourself to say, who are you trying to reach? And if you're trying to reach some specific audience, maybe the only way to do that is to talk about those things, just understanding that you are alienating 50% of everybody else, no matter where you're at with it. That's just the reality of life.
Awesome. You guys, this was great. And it's been fun, it's been informative, and really appreciate everyone's time up here. Give everyone a round of applause, you guys. Patricia, Justin, Rochelle, Dylan, Dale, you guys are awesome.
And Adam.
Yes, and me.
Yeah, Adam.
I'm just the driver of the bus, even though my kids make it there
You're the
50%
leader.
of the time. For those of you guys in the audience, both here and online, don't go away just yet. We've got Oregon Realtors District 1 Vice President and two-time former EMAR President, Greg Whistler, on hand to share some more insights on RPAC. Plus, there's one more trivia coming your way. So, Mr. Whistler, where are you? There you are. I think you get the standing podium, and they may have one light specifically for you on that podium.
All right.
I'm actually going to go rogue. I'm going to get right out here in front of y'all. So we've heard a lot about RPAC today. Thank you for listening to that. Thank you to the speakers for everything you guys have said. But this is going to be a little bit of your RPAC altar call, if I could. So since we're in a church, I guess we'll try that.
Love it.
And thank you for those of you who are contributing. You're entering the raffles because, you know, maybe you're saying, gosh, he's talked about big money and major investors and all of that stuff, and I that's not in my budget. Okay. Well, if you give to the raffle today, you've helped a little bit. And like Ashley was saying, you guys have been you've been Triple Crown the last 2 years, and a lot of that is a lot of people just giving little 15s and 20s and 25s and stuff like that. But there are several of you, and some of you are sitting in the audience today, who are major investors. And I want to just take a moment and say, would you stand up? Because I want to recognize those of you who have made your commitment to the business by being a major investor. Stand up. Come on. Nancy, stand up. I know you're one.
Shy.
Thank you. Thank you all. And being an investor at whatever level you want to be an investor at is okay, but every little bit helps, and it helps in a lot of different ways. Every single time that the legislature gets together, it seems like in the last few years, they talk about getting rid of the mortgage interest deduction or seriously changing the mortgage interest deduction. And it's the RPAC dollars that you give and that everybody else around the state gives that helps us get in front of those members of the legislature to talk with them about why that's dangerous and how that's going to help harm wealth building for all walks of life as they try to use home ownership to get started in wealth building. So, you know, how many of you, when COVID came on, were thankful that you still could go out and do your job? Everybody, lots of hands up. Your donations to the PAC helped us get in front of the legislature at all levels and convince them that this was an essential service and that the businesses that work alongside us, the inspectors, the Apollo Drain people, everybody, they're all essential services helping people move their money around, and some of it's the equity that's in their home. We didn't get to have to be sidelined because of what RPAC does for us talking to those legislators. So if you want to make an investment, I'm going to tell you that the opportunity to even be a major investor is very simple and very easy to do. You're just going to take little bites out of it. It takes $1,000 to get started as a Sterling R. And you're going to say to me, Greg, I'm not ready to write a check for $1,000. No problem. Can you write a check for $83? It's 83 times 12, works out to 1,000, somewhere close to 1,000. My math's kind of close on that. My buddy Tail taught me that today. That's a little acknowledgement there. But just put it into bites. Can you do $250 a quarter? Now you've got 4 quarters, you got $1,000. You're a major investor. Major investors are getting us opportunities to talk to those people. Minor, little $15 investments are getting us opportunities to talk to the people. So figure out what you can do and make an investment in your business. I think that was another thing that Ashley said today was make an investment in your business. It's like your advertising. It's like the stuff you're doing with social media. Make an investment and fight for your industry and fight for your clients' rights to enjoy their private property the way they want to. Thanks.
Thank you, Greg. You're a good man. And thank you to all the EMAR members for supporting RPAC and the important work that they do. And while we're on the subject of support, I want to let everyone know about the Women's Council of Realtors is sponsoring a blood drive later today from 1, which is 8 minutes from now. So get in your car right now and fly over to Tualatin. It's from 1 to 5. You've got plenty of time. 1 to 5 today at Area Floors in Tualatin. It is right there on the screen for all the information. You can take a quick picture of that. And there's a networking mixer. I know Patricia will probably be there. She's got a party. And that's from 4 to 6. You better post something on this today.
I'm going
to.
All
right.
My close friends, though.
Before we get to our final trivia question, I'm going to remind you one last time to sign up for the online raffle. Enter emar.virtualraffle, say it with me, .org. into your browser to be taken into the raffle site where you will find descriptions of the fine items that you could win. The online raffle runs all the way until next Tuesday, March 1st. So purchase your online raffle tickets today so you don't forget. It's good just to get that out of the way. Don't be left out in the cold. Okay, now we've got one final trivia question, and it is once again sponsored by Guild Mortgage. The music is, yeah, exactly. We need a little riff, a little drum set riff. Remember, raise your hand if you think you know the answer, okay? Everyone ready? All right, here we go. What type of loan can the appraiser call Tidewater? Is it USDA, FHA, conventional, or VA? What is that? D. VA. We can't see the top, you guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You are correct. You are correct. Yes. Yes. I'm so sorry, you guys up there. I mean, we literally, you can come up here. We'll give you guys a tour of what the stage looks like. And you can see what we see. We're like, really.
Oh, there's a
Literally
flashlight.
get a tent up here.
Yeah.
I see your flashlight.
Singing Kumbaya. But that is right. That is correct. Okay, you guys, that's it. That is, we've concluded the streaming portion, at least of today's EMAR Super Meeting. So those of you that are in person, stick around because you can still win some of these lovely prizes that our show gals are bringing up, right? All right. I'm Adam Bjarnson with Lawyer's Title. You guys, thank you so much for allowing me in. And good to see all of you guys face to face. It has been some time. So I hope we get back to normal like this. Thanks everyone.